The pier used to harbor vessels sailing into Daventry. A vast expanse of blue again beckons. You ignore it. You've swallowed enough of that today. You've swallowed. A winding trail gradually ascends these hills to the mountains and beyond. Many trees have sprouted along the natural path, despite the surplus of shade. You are at the foot of a high, snowy mountain range. A tricky path winds its way up the steep face of a looming cliff. It's an owl wearing a waistcoat and monocle. Don't be ridiculous. Of course it can't speak. The mountain goat is its own king. You must be kidding. Below you stretches a beautiful valley. You have reached the summit, but still the snowy mountains continue relentlessly forward. A narrow path forges its way through the snowdrifts, and another leads into a large cave. Nervously, you look around. A small mountain stream trickles on its way to destiny. A tree grapples with a rock as it attempts to thrive in this frigid environment. The snowy cave is large, with thick icicles hanging from its entrance. It's dark inside. As you make your way through the mountains, you suddenly notice something approaching you in the distance. Something that doesn't seem friendly.
I love a warm meal.
You try to fake an impression of chilliness.
Now. Don't sell yourself short. Did you bring me any seasoning? I'm fresh out.
You hastily shake your head.
No matter.
You quickly pour the remaining sleeping powder on the floor. You hope there's enough left to affect the Yeti. The Yeti slumbers peacefully, dreaming of his next feed. Half-chewed bones are scattered everywhere. Your skin crawls as you imagine yours among them. You have all the bones you'll ever need. Even if you could lift him, you'd get nothing but a hernia. You are not a murderous boy, Alexander. Don't wake him. The cave reeks of rotting flesh. This is a very steep and dangerous cliff. Numerous caves honeycomb its face. You could easily get lost if you survive the descent. These caves are really dark, but you feel a draft coming from two separate ways ahead of you.
Lost, aren't we? Let me show you around a little bit. You better have more meat on you than the last one. You better have more meat on you than the last one.
The Yeti is huge, with an appetite to match. Thanks to your navigational skills, you've managed to outwit the abominable snowman, and the way to Daventry is clear.
I'm getting sick of trespassers. I'm going back to Serenia.
You are making your way down the eastern side of these mountains, along a path which rims a narrow ridge. Looking back, you can see the snowy peaks you've risked your life traversing. Perhaps the worst is now behind you. The snow-capped peaks thrust their way upward towards a reddening sky. A tree has fallen before the onslaught of the unrelenting fire. Cracked, burnt, and lifeless, this is all that remains of the great realm of Daventry. A cave leads deep into the mountain. You gaze into the cave-like entrance, past the shattered remains of a door, but see nothing but crumbly stone steps leading upward. A winding, rickety ramp runs along the walls of the cavern. A tunnel leads off to one side. The walkway twists and turns as it winds its way to the top. The walkway. This part of the cavern houses an old, rotting walkway. A new construction of steps ascends the cavern. You can barely see the ceiling. Charred trees and stumps jut from the scorched ground beneath a cloudy sea. Every living thing has been burnt to a crisp. The dragon is every bit as fearsome as you imagine. Its green scales look hard and impregnable. 3 massive heads blow flame and smoke atop its writhing necks. The sight of it makes you shiver. Every living thing has... It's your sister, Rosella. The dirty brown storm brew sloshes around in the half-filled glass jar.
Stormy brew. Churn anew.
The dragon's corpse lies upon the ground, no match for the fury of your magical storm. You still wouldn't touch it with a 20-foot lance. You don't want to eat any part of the dragon. You untie your sister.
I thank you, my brave sir. Come, we must journey to my father's castle. My parents will be anxious to meet their daughter's rescuer. Do I know you?
Perhaps. We may have shared a cradle once.
I beg your pardon?
My name is Alexander, of Daventry.
Rosella regards you with a look of bewilderment, then a hint of suspicion.
Prove it.
I don't know how I could.
My mother told me once that my brother had a peculiar birthmark.
Well, in that case...
On his right buttock.
I see. Well, if that is what it will take to prove it to you.
Thank you. I am sorry I did not believe you. Brother.
After all you've been through, I understand completely. I just hope I don't have to prove my identity to the entire kingdom this way. Tell me about our parents.
Our mother, Queen Valenice, is as kind as she is beautiful. She is also wise and counsels father when he is in need of advice.
And our father?
King Graham has been the bravest and most honorable man this kingdom has ever known. It is only in recent years that our country's misfortunes have taken their toll on him.
I wish I could have been there for him.
You are here now. I think that seeing you will do a great deal to mend his ailing heart.
Why did the dragon come to Daventry?
I do not know. On occasion, I have heard Father mumble something about a curse. He would not speak to me of it, though. Nor would Mother.
Most curious. I am glad to finally be home.
As am I. It was difficult growing up knowing that I had a brother, yet fathoming neither your whereabouts nor whether you were safe. Though I cannot explain it, somehow I knew you were still alive. I hope your life thus far has not been too unpleasant.
Let's just say that I'm not overly fond of evil wizards.
Then you have something in common with Father. Though he did not know it at the time, one used to serve under him many years ago.
I have had quite an adventure while journeying here.
I can imagine. Perhaps I too will have an adventure someday. Well, preferably one without a three-headed dragon.
Agreed. I am looking forward to meeting my parents.
We'll surprise them. Are you nervous?
Well, maybe a little.
It will be fine. You'll see.
You have nothing more to say to Rosella.
I can walk. Thank you.
You have not. Your sister, Rosella, is looking a little worse for wear. She keeps a brave face as she gazes at you gratefully.
Hello, milady. Milady, you are free! Could it be to do with the sudden storm I beheld atop Cloud Mountain?
Ah, indeed it was. And I have this noble man to thank for rescuing me.
Incredible! And to think that the dragon is dead and gone after all this time. He is dead and gone, right?
Completely.
Oh, amazing! Noble sir, whom do I and all of Daventry thank for this miracle?
Go ahead.
Good sir, I am Prince Alexander of Daventry.
The gnome gives you a thoroughly mystified look. Then gradually a grin begins to spread over his old wrinkled face. The grin becomes a great smile, and soon the gnome is overcome with joy.
Wonderful, sensational, marvelous news! Yes, it is you, isn't it? I knew it. From the moment I saw you, I just knew it.
Then what did you just ask?
Shh! I must run to the castle and let everybody know. The dragon is dead and Prince Alexander has returned.
You are becoming too accustomed to this view. It's a bit on the warm side. The river's taken leave of the land.
Mind your footing, Alexander. The ground up ahead doesn't look stable.
The riverbed is dry and lifeless. In the distance, Castle Daventry stands embattled and alone. Despite the ever-present evidence of a recent scourge, you're heartened momentarily by the sight of your distant home. Your smile fades as you realize that not even the once great Castle Daventry has been spared. What little foliage remains little to look at. The man stands alone in the gloomy clearing. He wears a simple hooded garment and pays you little attention.
Hello? Are you alright?
I am as I am,
Who are you?
one who remembers many things. My wisdom once served the king.
This is your home then?
I called it that once, before yours had meaning. It has hidden something from me.
Can I help you find it?
Not as you are, my would-be sire.
You know me.
I know many things. The now, then, and every age in between. The reason for days, and why the stars are restless. The forces that work their will in this world. the trivial manner of your arrival.
But how could you?
Leave me. My time wanes with your wasteful banter.
He doesn't appear interested in conversing further. By far, this clearing makes you feel the most unsettled, whether it's the twisted trees snatching at the light or a memory of a past evil. You cannot be certain. What little A rock sits prominently in this clearing. Who'd want to move that big thing? You have pursued your path to the final clearing. That the damage so closely surrounds the castle does nothing to alleviate your concerns. This bridge is faring better than its counterpart. The moat might have once been home to many animals, but you cannot see them now. The walls have stood the test of time, but have recently struggled to hold together. The massive gate of the castle is opened to welcome you home.
Rosella! The Royal Weaver told us of your rescue. I could scarcely believe it. And this
is Prince Alexander of Daventry.
son?
Yes, Mother.
My heart has ached with longing for this day. Your absence has been a terrible burden for us all. Come, your father awaits us.
So ends the first. At last.
Father!
Rosella, are you all right?
As good as can be. Father, you look...
As one who has worried more than any thought possible, for longer than most thought him capable. Do not concern yourself. Is this?
Yes, Father.
I hadn't dared hope for this moment.
Why does your crown glow?
I don't... Wait. The father wanted the crown to find the item. This must be it.
That old thing.
Who is the father?
It doesn't matter. Today, his search ends.
Perhaps that will end his curse. Perhaps its second will not come to pass.
Yes, perhaps. Let us adjourn to the throne room. I have traveled many roads, some joyful, others dark. They have led me far and wide through all manner of danger. Yet they always brought me home, to Daventry. Your road, Alexander, has led you from us. For the longest time, we lost all hope of seeing you again. But the road, it seems, saw fit to return you as well. Along every step of my journeys, I have worn this, my adventurer's hat, a symbol of my zeal and youth. It is right that it should now pass to younger blood. Receive it, and know the man who was your father. May it lead you to fortune and great adventure as much as this world will share. To your futures.
Once there was no hope for me, and I could not dream of being free. But then I had a vision of you, and you gave me a reason to live, and so I find my way back home to you, to you. No one's ever walked this far, no one's ever tried so hard, no one's ever felt this way, had so much taken away. Who could know my hurt, my pain, when time and again I'm shamed? How could I have kept so sane when all it did was rain? If it takes a lifetime, I will try to make it back home until I die, to know a life No one's heart carries this weight. No one knows how hard my fate. No one listened when I cried. Why would they care if I died? Longing keeps me on the road. Missing years, a heavy load. Anger gone, my love will go me on and on as rivers flow. I'm coming home. May take all night, but I'm coming home. I'm coming home. May take my life, but I'm coming
Congratulations! You finished the game! Based on your playing style, you've earned the following secret awards.